Ladies and gentlemen, every night, as the world quiets down and the chaos of your day fades into darkness, your body doesn't stop working, your mind doesn't stop processing, and your gut doesn't stop analyzing. It's during these quiet hours when you think you are resting that the most important work of your life is actually taking place. Every thought you've had, every decision you've postponed, every worry you've carried, your brain and your gut are sorting through it all while you sleep. And yet very few people realize that there's a simple choice they can make before bed that changes everything. A choice that determines whether you wake up feeling depleted, scattered, and anxious, or whether you rise with clarity, energy, and focus ready to tackle the day ahead. Your brain is not a passive organ. It is alive with patterns, memories, and neural connections, constantly assessing, predicting, and recalibrating. When you lay down at night, with your mind still cluttered with the stress of unfinished tasks, regrets, or anxieties, your brain continues to churn. It keeps replaying mistakes, rehearsing fears, and questioning decisions. But if you learn to guide it consciously before sleep, to give it a direction, it becomes your most powerful ally. By the time you wake up, you won't just feel rested, you'll feel strategically prepared for the challenges ahead. It's like sending your mind to a workshop every night while you're oblivious, giving it the blueprint of how you want your life to function. Your gut, often underestimated, is working just as hard. The enteric nervous system, the second brain, is constantly interpreting signals from your environment, from what you've eaten, from your emotions, and from your subconscious. It is forming patterns, releasing chemicals, and sending messages to your brain, influencing your mood, your energy, and your intuition. That gut feeling you often hear about isn't just a cliche, it's real. Every night, your gut processes not only the food you've consumed, but also the emotional experiences of the day. It sorts, recalibrates, and prepares you for the morning. And just like the brain, the gut responds to guidance. It responds to rituals, to habits, to the small, intentional actions you take before sleep. Neglect it, and you wake up foggy, anxious, and reactive. Honor it, and you wake up aligned, energized, and decisive. So what is the simple practice that transforms your sleep into a powerhouse of mental and physical optimization? It is the act of reviewing, releasing, and preparing before bed. It is taking a moment to consciously acknowledge the day, to thank yourself for the efforts you made, to release the things you cannot control, and to set the tone for what you want your body and mind to work on while you rest. This is not complicated. It doesn't require hours of meditation or deep reflection. It doesn't demand perfection. It only requires consistency and intention. A few minutes each night can rewire your brain, reset your gut, and prime your body for the next day. Start by reviewing your day. Think about the moments where you acted with intention, where you overcame resistance, where you made progress, no matter how small. Celebrate them. Your brain registers victories as energy. It learns patterns from repeated acknowledgement. When you consciously recognize what went right, you strengthen the neural pathways associated with achievement, focus, and resilience. Your mind begins to expect success because it has been trained to notice it. Likewise, your gut responds to this recognition. It releases hormones that calm inflammation, improve digestion, and regulate energy balance. By giving thanks for what worked, you create a feedback loop that supports both mental and physical health. Next, release what you cannot control. Lay down the frustrations, regrets, and anxieties that weigh you down. Understand that worrying about things you cannot change is wasted energy, energy that your brain and gut could otherwise use to repair, optimize, and strategize. Writing these thoughts down, speaking them aloud, or simply acknowledging them in your mind allows you to separate your conscious awareness from unnecessary stress. Your brain is incredibly responsive to closure. When it knows that a problem is recognized but not urgent, it can shift focus to restoration rather than obsession. Your gut senses tension as well. Chronic worry disrupts digestion, interferes with hormone release, and keeps you in a state of low-grade stress. By consciously letting go, you free up vital resources for repair, restoration, and deep cognitive processing. Finally, set your intentions for tomorrow. Before you drift off to sleep, visualize what you want your mind and body to prioritize. Imagine yourself acting with clarity, making smart decisions, and moving through the day with energy and focus. Picture your gut processing this visualization, sending messages of confidence and calm to your brain. The science of neuroplasticity shows that your brain does not distinguish between experiences you live through and experiences you vividly imagine. By guiding your thoughts intentionally, you train your neural networks to anticipate and perform at higher levels. Your gut follows suit, adjusting hormone levels, gut motility, and energy allocation to support this envisioned state. What you imagine tonight becomes the reality your body and mind prepare for by morning. The beauty of this nightly ritual is that it is cumulative. The more consistently you practice it, the stronger the effects become. At first, you may notice subtle changes, a calmer mind at bedtime, more vivid dreams, or a lighter feeling in your body. Over weeks and months, these subtle shifts compound. You wake up with sharper focus, steadier moods, and a gut that feels energized and balanced. Your brain begins to anticipate problem solving with ease, and your body no longer carries unnecessary tension or fatigue. This simple practice transforms ordinary sleep into a nightly workshop for peak performance, creativity, and resilience. Most people underestimate the power of these moments before sleep. They scroll endlessly, binge watch shows, or let their minds dwell on negativity. They think sleep is enough, that the brain and gut will handle themselves. But the truth is, without guidance, your mind and body default to stress and reaction. Without intentional practice, your sleep can become wasted potential. Every night is an opportunity to shape your neural pathways, optimize digestion, regulate hormones, and prime yourself for success. The difference between a mediocre day and a powerful one often starts in the minutes before your head hits the pillow. And there is another layer to this practice: self-trust. By consistently taking these few minutes each night to review, release, and set intentions, you are telling yourself that you are in control. You are signaling that your mind, body, and gut are allies, not adversaries. You begin to trust your intuition, your decisions, and your resilience. You stop doubting and start acting. You stop reacting and start creating. These minutes before bed become a declaration that your life, your energy, and your potential are worth nurturing, even when you are not consciously awake. It's not about perfection. It's about consistency. You don't need to do it perfectly every night. Some nights will be harder than others. Your mind may resist. Your body may feel restless. But the act of trying, of consciously prioritizing your brain and gut health, builds momentum. It sends a message to your nervous system that you are invested in yourself. Every small effort compounds into bigger results, and over time, the benefits of this nightly practice become undeniable. You begin to notice a calmness in your decision-making, a steadiness in your energy, and a clarity in your thoughts that no caffeine or motivational speech can replicate. This is the power of intention before sleep. This is the secret that high performers, innovators, and resilient individuals all understand intuitively. It is not about working harder or thinking more during the day. It is about leveraging the hidden hours of your night when your brain and gut are already processing to guide them with purpose. When you honor this time, when you choose to consciously review, release, and set intentions, you unlock a reservoir of potential that most people never even know exists. And that is why this small, consistent action before bed is not just a habit. It is the foundation of transformation. Your brain is an incredible organ, constantly active even when you believe you are at rest. Every moment of your day leaves traces in it: memories, emotions, decisions, victories, and regrets. And when you lie down at night, those traces don't disappear. They swirl and intertwine, creating patterns that influence your thoughts, your mood, and the way you experience the world. Most people underestimate this nighttime activity, thinking that sleep is simply a pause button for the mind. But sleep is not inactivity. It is a critical period of processing, organizing, and preparing for the challenges ahead. And the remarkable truth is that your brain is ready to work in your favor if you guide it consciously in the minutes before you close your eyes. Reviewing your day is the first step toward directing your brain's overnight activity. It's easy to end the day without reflection, scrolling through your phone or distracting yourself with entertainment, and assuming that tomorrow will sort itself out. But when you actively take a moment to acknowledge what you accomplished, no matter how small, you are giving your brain a signal. You are telling it to notice what worked, what brought progress, and what patterns of success you want to repeat. Your mind begins to strengthen those neural pathways associated with focus, confidence, and achievement. The moments of small victories, completing a task, speaking with courage, making a conscious choice. These all become anchors in your brain, pathways that are reinforced each night when you acknowledge them. Equally important is the release of what you cannot control. Your brain has a natural tendency to ruminate on unresolved problems, mistakes, or anxieties. Without intentional guidance, it will spiral, replaying events and obsessing over scenarios that cannot be changed. This mental noise doesn't just disturb your sleep, it affects the way you wake up, leaving you scattered, anxious, and less capable of clear thinking. By consciously letting go of what is beyond your control before bed, you shift the mind from reaction to restoration. Writing down worries, speaking them aloud, or simply acknowledging them mentally signals to your brain that it does not need to expend energy on what cannot be solved right now. This creates a sense of closure, allowing your neural networks to focus on consolidation and problem solving rather than stress and regret. Intentional pre-sleep practices can also shape your subconscious problem-solving ability. Your brain is remarkable at processing complex information without conscious effort. The moments before sleep are critical because they act as a transition from the conscious to the subconscious mind. If you provide your brain with clear, focused intentions and reflections, can work on these ideas all night, forming solutions, integrating new knowledge, and preparing strategies for the next day. Dreams often reflect this process, but even without VIV, ID dreaming, your mind is still actively organizing memories, connecting dots, and creating associations that can lead to breakthroughs. This is why some of the most profound insights, the solutions to persistent problems, and flashes of clarity often emerge in the morning, after the mind has had hours to process in the background. It's also important to recognize that consistency compounds the effect of this nightly guidance. One night of reflection may provide small improvements, but repeated practice over weeks and months rewires the brain at a deep level. Neural pathways associated with mindfulness, gratitude, focus, and problem solving are strengthened, while patterns of stress, rumination, and distraction are weakened. Your brain becomes trained to respond to challenges with clarity and confidence, not fear and doubt. Over time, this shifts your default mental state so that waking moments are not consumed by anxiety or indecision, but are instead filled with intentionality and resilience. The quality of your mental pre-sleep routine also affects your creativity and innovation. When the brain is guided properly before rest, it is free to explore possibilities, make novel connections, and imagine outcomes without interference from unresolved tension. Many great ideas, inventions, and solutions have been born from the mind's nocturnal activity or the subconscious. Mind organizes, tests, and experiments in silence. By feeding your brain positive reflections and clear intentions, you create fertile ground for creativity to flourish. This isn't just about solving problems, it's about enhancing your capacity to think expansively, to anticipate opportunities, and to approach challenges with unconventional strategies. Another dimension of guiding your brain before bed is the development of self-awareness. When you review your actions, reflect on choices, and release regrets consciously, you become more attuned to your patterns of thought and behavior. This awareness is not passive. It empowers you to take control of your mental processes. You begin to notice habits that serve you and habits that hold you back. You start to intervene in real time, shifting your reactions and decisions toward intentionality. Over time, this strengthens your executive function, the part of the brain responsible for planning, prioritization, and regulation of emotions. You are no longer a passive observer of your life. Your brain becomes an active collaborator, working for you while you rest. Finally, the act of guiding your brain before bed cultivates a profound sense of self-trust and confidence. When you consistently take responsibility for your mental state and invest in your own preparation, you signal to yourself that you are capable of steering your life. Your mind learns to anticipate clarity, focus, and problem solving as natural outcomes of daily practice. This trust in your own cognitive abilities reduces stress, improves decision making, and enhances emotional resilience. The brain, trained to expect success and guided thoughtfully before sleep, becomes a silent partner in achieving your goals, ensuring that each morning is not a scramble to recover, but a strategic start to your day. Gut is often overlooked when people think about health, energy, and performance, but it is one of the most powerful systems in your body, known as the second brain. It contains an intricate network of neurons, hormones, and chemical signals that communicate directly with your brain, influencing everything from mood and energy levels to focus, immunity, and intuition. Every night while you sleep, your gut is actively working, processing what you have consumed, interpreting the day's experiences, and regulating hormones critical to physical and mental performance. Yet, just like the brain, the gut responds to guidance. What you do in the moments before bed, the small, intentional actions you take, can dramatically affect how well your gut performs, and in turn, how well your body and mind function the next day. When you eat, your gut begins a complex process of breaking down food, extracting nutrients, and sending signals to your nervous system. But the gut's responsibilities extend far beyond digestion. It is a sensor, a regulator, and a communicator. It processes emotional stress, interprets the signals of your nervous system, and even predicts how your body will respond to challenges the following day. If you go to bed with unresolved stress, anxiety, or negative emotions, your gut registers these feelings. It releases stress hormones like cortisol, slows digestion, and can even affect your sleep cycles. This is why restless nights, indigestion, and fatigue often go hand in hand. But if you approach the moments before sleep with intention, your gut responds in ways that enhance energy, focus, and well-being. One of the most effective ways to guide your gut is through the practice of releasing tension and stress before bed. Much like your brain, your gut reacts to unresolved thoughts and unprocessed emotions. Carrying the HT of frustration, worry, or regret into sleep triggers a physiological response, elevated cortisol levels, disturbed hormone balance, and reduced efficiency in nutrient absorption. By taking a few minutes to reflect on the day, acknowledge what you did well, and let go of what you cannot control, you send a message to your gut that it can relax. This relaxation allows the digestive system to function optimally, hormone regulation to stabilize, and the nervous system to enter a state conducive to repair and restoration. It is a subtle yet profound shift that has a cascading effect on energy, mood, and overall health. Visualization and intention setting are equally powerful tools for nurturing the gut. When you imagine yourself waking up with energy, clarity, and focus, your gut senses it. The enteric nervous system is closely tied to your body's hormonal and metabolic functions, and it reacts to signals from your mind. Positive visualization before sleep promotes the release of hormones like serotonin and melatonin, which regulate mood, digestion, and sleep quality. Your body begins to prepare for a state of balance and readiness, aligning the gut with the brain in a seamless partnership. This is why athletes, performers, and high achievers often engage in pre-sleep mental routines. They are unconsciously optimizing not just their mind, but the physical systems that support performance. Consistency in these practices compounds the effect. The gut, like the brain, thrives on patterns. When you routinely engage in a pre-sleep routine of reflection, release, and visualization, your gut begins to anticipate these signals and respond accordingly. Over time, your enteric nerve system becomes more efficient at processing stress, managing hormones, and supporting digestion. You wake up with more energy, less bloating, and a greater sense of balance. Your body's natural rhythms align with your intentions, creating a feedback loop where the gut and brain reinforce each other, priming you for better decisions, more focus, and improved resilience throughout the day. Even the physical environment and small habits before sleep influence the gut profoundly. Eating too late, consuming heavy or inflammatory foods, or overexposing yourself to screens can interfere with digestion, hormone release, and the gut's natural restorative functions. But when you choose to approach sleep with care, opting for lighter meals, hydrating thoughtfully, dimming lights, and calming your nervous system, you signal to your gut that it is safe to focus on repair rather than defense. The gut responds by regulating inflammation, supporting metabolic function, and promoting deep, restorative sleep that rejuvenates the entire body. These seemingly minor choices compound over weeks and months, producing measurable improvements in energy, mood, and resilience. The gut also plays a critical role in intuition and decision-making. That gut feeling you experience is not metaphorical. It is a direct communication from your enteric nervous system to your brain, interpreting complex patterns and informing judgment. By guiding your gut before bed through conscious habits, reflection, and visualization, you strengthen this communication channel. You begin to notice subtle signals more clearly, trust your instincts, and make decisions with greater clarity and confidence. Your body and mind are no longer at odds. They work in harmony, supporting every thought, action, and choice you make. Finally, investing in your gut before sleep is an act of self-respect. It is a recognition that your body is not a machine to be exhausted, but an intricate system that deserves care, attention, and alignment. The minutes you spend nurturing your gut, guiding it through reflection, release, and visualization may seem small, but they accumulate into powerful results. Over time, your sleep becomes a nightly investment in your health, energy, focus, and resilience. Your gut begins to operate optimally, your mind becomes clearer, and your life starts to reflect the intentionality of the actions you take quietly, consistently, before you close your eyes each night. The moments before you sleep are more powerful than most people realize. This is when your mind and body are at a threshold, transitioning from the conscious world into the deep restorative processes of the night. Every thought you harbor, every emotion you feel, and every intention you set in these moments has a ripple effect that carries through your sleep and into your waking hours. Setting intentions before bed is not simply wishful thinking. It is a deliberate act of programming your subconscious mind and signaling your body's systems to align with your goals and priorities. When done consistently, this practice transforms ordinary nights into a nightly workshop for focus, energy, and performance, and ordinary days into deliberate, high-impact experiences. Visualization is at the heart of this process. When you close your eyes and imagine yourself navigating tomorrow with clarity, confidence, and calm, your brain and body begin to prepare for that reality. The brain cannot fully distinguish between vividly imagined experiences and real ones. It begins to reinforce the neural pathways that correspond to the behaviors, emotions, and responses you envision. Your enteric nervous system, the gut, picks up on this as well. The subconscious recognition of preparation triggers hormone release, supports digestion, and regulates energy so that your body is ready to act in alignment with your intentions. This is why people often wake up with solutions to problems, innovative ideas, or an unexpected sense of clarity. The groundwork was laid in the quiet moments before sleep. The act of setting intentions is also a form of prioritization. Life constantly demands our attention in countless directions, but the brain and body can only effectively process a limited number of signals at a time. When you intentionally decide what matters most for tomorrow, you reduce mental clutter. Your subconscious mind knows what to focus on, and your gut begins preparing the physiological state necessary to meet those priorities. Instead of waking up reacting to stress, checking notifications, or scrambling to remember obligations, you wake up with a sense of direction. You know what matters, what is urgent, and where to direct your energy. This pre-sleep practice transforms your mornings from chaos into strategy. Consistency compounds these benefits. The more regularly you set intentions before sleep, the stronger the neural and physiological patterns become. Your brain begins to anticipate focus and clarity as the default state upon waking. Your gut aligns to support energy, calmness, and readiness. Over weeks and months, this nightly ritual rewires the systems of your body and mind. You begin to notice subtler cues in your environment, anticipate challenges before they arise, and make decisions with greater precision. Your intuition sharpens because your mind and gut are synchronized. The preparation you commit to before sleep becomes a silent partner in achieving every goal, managing every stressor, and navigating life with greater resilience. Setting intentions is not about forcing perfection or controlling every detail of the next day. It is about planting seeds. You are giving your brain and gut a roadmap, not a rigid schedule. The power comes from guidance, not control. By imagining success, prioritizing what is important, and releasing what cannot be influenced, you allow your subconscious to orchestrate solutions, responses, and energy allocation without tension or stress. This is what makes the pre-sleep moments transformative. The brain is working strategically, the gut is regulating physiologically, and you are consciously aligning yourself with the life you want to live. This process also strengthens self-trust and personal agency. When you take responsibility for your mental and physical preparation before sleep, you signal to yourself that you are capable of influencing outcomes, even when you are not actively awake. You stop relying solely on willpower or external circumstances to shape your day. You cultivate confidence in your ability to handle challenges, to remain focused under pressure, and to respond intentionally rather than react impulsively. Over time, this trust becomes automatic. Your subconscious begins to anticipate success, and your body and mind respond as a cohesive unit, optimizing performance in ways that effort alone cannot achieve. The interplay between brain, gut, and intention is also deeply tied to creativity and problem solving. Many of the breakthroughs, insights, and innovative ideas that shape careers and lives originate from the subconscious processes activated at night. When you provide your mind and gut with clear intentions before bed, you are giving them permission to explore, connect, and create freely. Your brain tests scenarios, your gut assesses risk and readiness, and together they form solutions that feel effortless in the morning. This is why high performers often speak about sleeping on a problem as a strategic tool. They are leveraging the alignment of mind, body, and intention to unlock insights that conscious effort alone cannot produce. Even simple rituals amplify this effect. Writing down your goals, rehearsing actions mentally, or quietly affirming the qualities you wish to embody primes your neural and physiological systems for success. These actions send clear signals to your subconscious and body, aligning your energy for tomorrow. Over time, the subtle accumulation of these intentional moments before sleep creates profound shifts. You wake up more focused, your decisions are sharper, your energy levels are higher, and your ability to navigate stress improves. Your days are no longer dictated by circumstance, but guided by the intentional preparation you commit to each night. By cultivating this practice, you begin to understand the immense potential hidden within each night. Sleep becomes more than rest. It becomes a deliberate ally in your growth, performance, and resilience. The minutes before bed, often overlooked, hold the power to transform your brain, your gut, and your life. You are not merely drifting into unconsciousness, you are actively shaping the state of your body and mind, planting seeds for tomorrow's clarity, focus, and success, and creating a life where your potential is realized intentionally and consistently every night presents a choice, one that can quietly shape the trajectory of your life. The minutes before sleep are not simply a pause from your day, they are an opportunity to guide your brain, nurture your gut, and set intentions that ripple through tomorrow. By reflecting on your wins and releasing what you cannot control, your brain organizes and strengthens the pathways of focus, clarity, and resilience. By honoring your gut, you support energy, balance, and intuition, allowing your body to repair, recalibrate, and prepare for what lies ahead. By setting clear intentions, you align your mind and body toward purpose, transforming ordinary rest into a powerful engine for growth, creativity, and success. When you take these moments seriously, when you commit consistently to preparing yourself before bed, you reclaim control over your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Sleep becomes not just a necessity, but a strategic partner in your life. Your days begin with clarity instead of chaos, confidence instead of UBT, and energy instead of depletion. The small, deliberate actions you take each night compound into extraordinary results, shaping your habits, your mindset, and ultimately your destiny. Remember, greatness is not forged only in moments of effort during the day. It is also cultivated in the quiet, intentional preparation you commit to when the world is asleep. Your brain and gut are ready to work for you, but they need your guidance. Treat these moments before sleep as sacred, and you will wake up aligned with your highest potential, ready to meet the day fully equipped, fully capable, and fully alive. Your future is being written tonight in the choices you make before your head hits the pillow, and every night is an opportunity to shape it wisely,